My guest today might look big and scary, but he's actually a big, soft teddy bear. And Big Ed Abrasley got his nickname because he's 8'5". I'm just kidding. I made that up. But if you know Ed, it's kind of believable, right? I feel like every time I'm talking to him, I'm looking straight up at the ceiling. One of the things I've always loved about Ed is he has always had such a growth mindset when it came to jiu-jitsu. He's always looking to learn more and always learn to grow, not even in just jiu-jitsu, but even in his striking game. I've learned a lot of my striking from Big Ed, and even though we have such a difference in size, he is always has a great way of conveying and teaching information. So not only is Ed always striving to learn better and grow in the martial arts of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, but he also is a fantastic teacher. He stepped into the role of one of the jiu-jitsu teachers here on a regular schedule at Taikai. And I gotta say, ever since I saw him step into that role, it was really beautiful to watch because I started training with Ed back in 2009 and when we had an MMA program at Taikai, and I got to watch Ed have some MMA fights when the opponents would show up. And now to fast forward 12 years, 13 years into the future, and then see him doing so well with teaching, doing such a good job at conveying all these minute details is really beautiful to see. And that's one of the reasons why I love Ed. He also has a fantastic group of instructionals that are out on the BJJ Fanatics website. So if you are a jiu-jitsu fan, you should go to the BJJ Fanatics website, type in Ed Abrasley, and he has a lot of great instructionals that are just fantastic. So listen, I could go all day about all the stuff I love about Ed, but here is the episode with my buddy Big Ed. Ed, what and really made you want to get into martial arts?
So actually, it was when I was doing security, and a buddy of mine who still trains occasionally, SPAC. Him and I came
Oh yeah,
never SPAC.
yep.
Uh, we still keep in touch here and there. But we were doing security, and we are like, yeah, you know what? Let's try it out. Use it for work, just to defend ourselves because it was getting rough. We were having to do a lot of nonsense. So we went, tried Taikai, and then honestly, like from that point on, I was hooked. Even like getting my butt kicked for every second of every round for a long time.
Right.
Was just like
You didn't know martial arts when you were younger?
nope.
You
None.
and Matt started together. How old were you?
So I started in 2009.
Yep,
So
same.
what is that? 36 now. I don't know. It's like a math, something like that. Like 20
Damn.
or 19. I don't know, 20, something like that.
Wow. And you just see it's interesting because some people step in all different ages. You're just doing it as a pure self-defense, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Like it was something that actually Ralph Habib kind of mentioned to us, and he's the one that actually like told us to go there. So when we went there, it was just like I had somebody like Kevin McDougal size
Yeah.
beating the living crap out of me. I'm like, I got this, no problem. Like you know what I mean? Like, I deal with all the time. I got this little dude.
And now he's like on you like a backpack.
Yeah, for sure. It was just like I was getting my ass kicked by like so many people half my size, and I was like, this is incredible. It kept me like I fell in love immediately. And
Do you remember what your first day was when you stepped out on the mat? What did you feel like?
a whale.
Yeah. Oh
I
well.
I couldn't shrimp down the mat. I couldn't move. I only loved to like I thought no-gi was easier for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't used to wearing a gi. Like it's just like I felt like it was pajamas. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
was
right.
just people were grabbing it, choking me, and I was just like, I don't want to wear that thing. People would choke me.
Yeah.
I was just like, I want to try to do no-gi. So, that didn't help either. I was still getting beat up in no-gi. I was still getting beat up everything I did. I felt like I got beat up just bowing in. Like it was just kind of, and that's what that took over. Like the ability, like to see people that are so much smaller than me, weaker than me. Like I was a strong kid, but I was big and
You were
had
working out though before. You were lifting some serious iron.
yeah, and I just couldn't. But I had no cardio. I couldn't walk from the locker room to halfway down the mat before I was out. Screw this. I want to sit down. But like, yeah, I had no cardio. I was just big dude, and that was it. And I was just from
Do you remember
that.
who your first class was with?
No, I remember my first roll, like live roll. Before I didn't even know how to tap. It was big Rob White.
Really?
Yeah.
That was your first round?
My first
Jesus.
round was Big Rob White. I forgot who. I think it was like this. This was back in the day when like Ken was walking around in his Valitudo shorts, taking people's legs home with him, and just like not caring, not talking, just sitting there. Like you'd have a conversation with me, we'd just sit there in the stairs like this, and then
Yeah.
like okay, bye, and just walk away. You know, like those. This was back at the other school when I first started.
That's funny.
Yeah, so my first round was Rob White. He like mounted me and had his forearm on my throat, and I was getting sweat dripped on my face. I was getting choked unconscious, and I didn't know how to tap. And I was like, "Well, this is how I die, I guess. I don't know." So he realized that I was probably gonna die, so he stopped. And you know,
that is not how you die. You did very well.
Yeah,
You made it.
Not at that point, but
those next few days, what made you want to keep showing up? Just the fact that you were bettering your health overall and learning self-defense.
Yeah, and plus I felt like there was more. There was just more there. Like it was a challenge, and it was proof. There was like the proof in the pudding. Like there's guys that were just smaller than me that could just do whatever the hell they wanted to me, and I was like, this isn't this, like that. Putting people to sleep with chi balls and stuff like that. Like it was like this is some good stuff, and I got addicted. I mean, I competed my first week of jiu-jitsu.
Really, you competed your first week?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're amazing! I didn't know that. What was it, like a Naga or something?
No, it was some random tournament, and I lost. And Ken will every single time that I'm in front of a big group of people, like in my belt test, he brought it up every single time, and he will continue to do it until the day I die. I lost to that guy, Mark. I think it's Mark, and he ended up coming and training at Taikai after that. I think he stopped training at like a blue belt, I believe. Yeah, I lost the points to him, and I was like, "This shit is awesome. I want to keep
just
doing
1 point." And man, you had the guts to compete your first. Not me, dude. I didn't want to compete when I first started. That's scary.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what I was in for when I first got to compete. I was like, I don't know. I felt like it was just like kind of like getting my ass kicked in class. I was like, I'll just go over there. It wasn't like that. The adrenaline and everything, you know.
For me, when I had my first match, I had like such bad cotton mouth that I was like, I remember when I finished the first match, it was like a tournament, and I did my first match, won by submission, and I think I turned to you, Ed. I think it was at the Naga at Albany, and I was like, I can't feel my mouth. My mouth I got cotton mouth, and you just looked at me and you're like, yep, that'll happen. All right, round 2, come on, bud, you're a second guy.
I remember that you rode up with me. You rode me there.
Yeah.
That was, everybody says I'm addicted to gum. That's why I chew gum. That's what's got me started on that chewing gum thing. Like I just got, helps with cotton mouth, and it helps me keep my part of my body engaged constantly, so that it kind of helps with the mental.
So you don't
stuff.
have to tap your hands or
yeah. I got my size 15 foot, just tapping on the ground, causing.
God, do you really have a size 15?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Jesus! I would put that on. I would look like goddamn clown feet. It would look like clown shoes on me.
Bro, it's horrible. I gotta order my shoes online. I gotta hope they fit. Hope that they look all right, because I can't find them here.
When you were doing jiu-jitsu you first started, didn't you guys both just like jump into MMA? You and
Hmm.
Matt Smack
Well,
both,
no,
right?
we went boxing first.
You did boxing first.
So we went to do a lot of boxing. We had boxing fights, and then we went and ended up going, and the Turning Stone Casino brought us up because they wanted us to do a tryout for them. Because after we had some amateur boxing fights, they're like, "Yeah, we want you to go pro." So they brought us there. We did, we did a couple auditions, like a couple
That's
minutes
cool.
each. They offered us contracts right away. Um,
That's sweet. I forgot. I totally forgot you and Matt Smack were boxing. I forgot about that. Holy cow!
yep,
How
yep.
did you feel versus when you did your jujitsu, your first competition versus your first boxing match? How do the two compare?
Um, so the boxing part, I felt like it was like a lot of lead up to the like, you know what I mean, like a lot of training for that exact scenario. Like there was just not that much more things that could happen other than just working on your boxing form, straight punches, moving. Jiu-jitsu, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like
Right.
it's so many more possibilities. There's so many more mental things. Like, all right, well, I don't
Yep.
know what I get this guy for this guy. Like you already know who you're gonna box against.
Yep.
Jiu-jitsu, you don't know. Like those tournaments, a lot of times you don't know who you're gonna go against. But
Right.
like that's how I
Were
ended
you
up going.
more nervous for your boxing fight than your jujitsu competition?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I was more nervous for my first boxing match. Because I felt like it was just like a totally different scenario with being up on the ring,
Yeah.
everybody on watching.
Was that your
Um,
first time on a ring too? Like right when
yeah,
you got to your fight? Yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
wild. It feels so much different. I wish we had a ring at Taikai.
yeah. And climbing into the ropes and stuff was kind of cool. Like it's like, all right, I was kind of pretending I was Mike Tyson in my head. I'm like, yeah, like
Dude, I feel like you would have entered like the big show, like 1 foot all the way over the very top rope.
well, if I didn't have a size 15 and had the risk getting it trapped on there to flip on my face, I got to do something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
That is
I was
sweet. I didn't so went from boxing in you did you ever fulfill the contract with Turning Stone?
no, we ended up when pretty much if once you sign the pro contract, you weren't allowed to do anything that could risk getting injured, which means
Oh, so they had
do.
like really weird stipulations.
Yeah, they wanted like to
Yeah.
control you, and they said, well, pretty much you couldn't do MMA, you couldn't do jiu-jitsu, you couldn't do anything other than boxing or stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
that's a no for me, dog.
yeah, I was like, yeah, nah. I decided not to do that, and then I went right into MMA. Like my
Yeah.
first boxing, only a couple
When you went
seconds.
into how long from your boxing fight to your MMA fight?
Uh, I don't know. Probably like a year,
A
maybe
year?
a year
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, because but that was back in the day when our rule was you had to be a blue belt to
Yep.
compete in MMA. So I had to wait for that, and I was
And
okay
then
with
once
that.
you got your blue belt, then you did MMA fight. And this is all before it was legal, so you guys used to have to drive everywhere for
Yeah,
fights.
well, it's amateur was okay, like because my first one was in Watertown.
Oh, okay.
Because the amateur, the pro stuff you couldn't do.
Oh, yeah, right.
So like the amateur stuff, they found like that little loophole to do their different stuff. I don't know. I don't know how that worked, but my
Yeah,
first MMA fight was in Watertown.
yeah.
It was only lasted like 6 seconds, but
That's where you starts that guy. What was
yeah.
it with? And
Huh?
what did you knock the dude out with?
Uh, well, I hit him with a 1-2,
I thought
and then he
I
was kind of
wanted to
out, so I grabbed his head and uppercutted him.
uppercut. I
He
was
was
gonna
at
say an uppercut.
he was out on his feet, but then he just face planted on the ground,
Oh,
and I walked
geez.
away because I broke my knuckle too. That was not. I
What'd you
broke
say? You said you broke your elbow?
my knuckle, like I had that
Oh,
like in my
wow! You
hand.
hit him so hard you broke your knuckle.
Yeah, like in the video, like I look at my hand, like oh shit, like, I felt
Oh
it
my
immediately.
god!
But
Were you when you went from boxing to MMA? Were you like more nervous that like you had so many more factors going into it, like worrying about the takedowns and all that?
honestly, no, I was excited. I was like, this is cool. I could do other shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I
That's
love
just
you to pieces, and that's why I love you, because you're fucking crazy like that.
yeah, you know,
You're like, "That this is sweet." Not me, man. No.
got your options. I can start taking people down and doing some more stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, I love a challenge. I love challenging. I've you know, um, done everything I could to put myself in the best position possible to better myself in this journey, I guess. Um,
Yeah. Your jujitsu martial arts journey, right?
yeah, and I that's also why, like, I go to Philly all the time. Like, I go train with those guys. Like, I don't want to be.
Dude, how cool is it to go train up there or down there in Philly? Isn't that awesome?
It's incredible. I love it. I love going there with those guys. Like those, not just like you roll with like people that you're not used to, but it's just up another level with those kind of guys. Like rolling with Phil and Rick. I mean,
Dude, Phil is really cool to be around. He is like, it sounds so cheesy when I say this, but people say there's like people that when they walk in the room, everybody is like attention's on. It's like very like positive energy from. I don't know. Every time I talk to him, it's very like he seems like such a cool fucking dude. Like I want to hang out with that dude all the time.
100%, and that's
Yeah,
exactly how they are. In front of 1,000 people or in front of just you. Like those guys are down to earth,
yeah,
real. And I mean,
yeah. I really loved how he taught too. When you like travel and get to go check out all these different schools, I it's nice to see how all these teachers have different styles, and I loved Phil the way that he broke things down. I took one of his Thai classes when we went there. It was a lot
mhm.
of fun. It was cool. I liked the change in style. I liked what he was going over. It was really cool. The way he gives information is how I learn. He likes to use analogies, so that's like it's perfect.
Yeah, that's where I picked up 90% of my teaching styles is like learning from those guys, from Ken and Overin and all those guys all together. I take bits and pieces that kind of fit for the way that I teach. I mean, as you know, I have a hard time hiding the way I'm feeling about things or the way I want to say things. I just say it. So
Yeah,
uh, I guess I'm an acquired taste for people to come to my class.
acquired taste.
Because I just don't bullshit. It's just kind of like I say it how it is. And I don't do like the false sense of security. I don't do the babying people. I say
But
how it
now you've moved on to
is.
teaching. Are you no longer competing anymore? Are you focusing more on teaching?
Honestly, I am still trying to compete as much as
I know.
possible.
I feel like you're crazy enough. You'd be like, "Nah, I'll do
Yeah,
a match
yeah.
right now if you want."
Oh, absolutely, 100%. If I got
I know because you're
I got called
crazy.
to a match and it's worth it, like, absolutely, I would love it. I love that competition. Like, I've gone to so many competitions by myself that it's just kind of like it's normal for me. I'm just like, yeah, I don't need a coach. I just go out there and do what I've
What's
been
one of
taught.
your favorite events that you've got to compete at? Is there one that sticks out in your head?
Fight to Win was awesome. Um, Fight to Win and Rise. I'd say those two are the top two that um Rise was I was a brown belt still, and I was in their heavyweight tournament for their first ever heavyweight champion belt, and I went against two tough dudes, two tough black belts. One, Gary Tonin was coaching the first guy I went against. I subbed him. Um, Second guy, this guy Nick Walls he's a monster, awesome dude, real good dude, a real good jiu-jitsu competitor. We just our styles at that point were kind of a good mix up together. I ended up subbing him. He was a black belt under Cyborg. Um, so that was a good night.
Oh,
I
like
just
you're a brown belt. You were just
yeah
taking black belt home with you, taking their
yeah
arms with them.
yeah I won both matches by sub. They were 10 minute sub only or EBI overtime, and I was able to get it done under the time limit. I
What a
just
gangster, dude. I can't believe you did that. What a gangster while you were a brown belt.
yeah. I also competed before that in the gi as a brown belt against a black belt for Rise. Um, the guy Izzy Medina. He was a high level wrestler, won Pan Am's, a black belt, stuff like that. Um, Again, I submitted him in a couple minutes in the gi.
in the
Uh,
game.
I when I was a blue belt was like that was my prime. I was loving that. I was loving blue belt. I was submitted, beating black belts as a blue belt, like Nolan Ducher, Gabriel the Gladiator, Santos.
Do you think out of all the promotions, Rise put on the best event?
Rise and Fight to Win. Both of them that they both have top notch events, and it's
Really? It's all the background work behind the scenes, right?
yeah, and I was supposed to fight for Fury Grappling. Um,
Oh, nice.
that was like the CFFC or their kind of event for grappling. Um,
Yeah.
we went there. I got ready for the match. Got ready. That actually Rick and Phil were gonna. Rick came there to corner me, and we got dressed, got ready, getting ready to walk out, and like, oh yeah, you guys not here. So it's like,
Ugh.
okay,
Wait till last minute to tell you.
yeah. Well, they were waiting for me. They said he would just decided to stop answering messages and wasn't going to show up. So
Jeez, what on earth?
yeah, well, Rick pulls out his phone and calls the guy's coach, which was like, I forgot who the coach was. I think it was
But
like,
Rick knew him. He's like, dude, what the hell?
yeah, but it was like high. It's like a big name guy.
Yeah.
Devon, no, might have to think about it. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but like,
Yeah, that's all right. That's funny. He just straight up calls him and is like, yo, what the hell? Your guy
yeah,
didn't show?
yeah, Rick, yeah, those guys are just awesome, man. I mean, Rick and Phil have cornered me for multiple matches.
Yeah.
It's
Is there one dream instructor you have that you like want to take their class, like in person?
uh honestly not that I can't not that I can think about top of my head, man. Like Phil and
Is there
Rick.
like one seminar you went to that you were really impressed with the instructor?
I've gotten everything I need from like Phil and Rick for the listening to the way that those guys teach and they explain
Yeah.
stuff. Like it's gotten me over every hump of jiu-jitsu that I've had. Every roadblock that I've come to, like those guys had the answer immediately. Like
Yeah. How often are you going out there? Is it like once a month?
yeah, I try to go at least once a month. Yeah, like
Once
COVID,
a
I've
month.
shut that down for a little bit, but that has been my goal to make it there as much as possible now.
Yeah.
You
Nice.
know,
That's cool. When you started taking over classes and teaching more at Taikai, have you taken your teaching techniques from the two of them?
yeah, I try to put, you know, my teaching style is a lot different than a lot of other people. Like I try to make sure I have my techniques that I show. I want everybody to understand the certain things I'm going to show for that class, and
Do
then
you like write things down? Do you have like a class plan or do you just do it off the top of your head?
I have it in my head, like I write it in my head pretty much. Like I just have like idea what I want to do for the next week. So I do a
You know
week
what's
ahead
funny?
of time.
It's cool, but everybody does it different. Chris Roach doesn't write anything down.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis likes to write things down. I have a notebook I write like my class plans for Fridays. I always write stuff down.
Oh
It's
yeah,
funny,
yeah.
some people don't do it. And you and Chris run a great class. It's funny.
I
It doesn't
I have
tell you
horrible
where you're
handwriting
organized.
anyway. I have horrible handwriting, so I wouldn't be able to read my handwriting anyway. So I would just say, like,
You're like, why am I having him throw a jab cross hook in jujitsu? I don't understand
yeah, that doesn't make sense. Why are you gonna teach chicken choking a crocodile? I don't know what that means.
that. When
Yeah,
you're trying to figure out what to go over for jujitsu, how do you come up with it? Is it just like we'll figure out a route, like we go from point A to B, or is there like we're just gonna drill an armbar this class?
well, so like I always show stuff that I hit live, no matter what, whether it's in open mat or in competition. Everything that I show, I can do 100%. Like I am very big with. I practice what I preach. I try to show everything. So the way that I look at it is, for that class, when I show something, it's something that like an upper belt that I know that comes in my classes. That I've rolled with during the week that they get having trouble with in my head. So I kind of worked some stuff from them, and then I spend the last 15 minutes of class with open drilling, so that if they're as long as they're not a white belt, they can drill anything from anywhere. It doesn't have to be what I showed for that class. And we were out. They raise their hand. I'll come around and help them with whatever they're having issues with, and so that everybody can get something out of class. So it's not just one person.
Do
So
you have like that one move set that's your jam that you love teaching?
I love subbing people. So every kind of submission that I
You're like,
that
I'm never showing you escapes. We're just I'm gonna show you how to tap everybody.
I do 100%. I mean, I should show more stuff, but I let people pick. Like it's like I like showing setups that lead into different submission chains, so that you're not giving up everything for just one sub and you're in a bad spot. Like I love, I've gone to competitions where I've subbed people. I've been up by 20 something points, sub them with the second left, just because I love submitting. I love it. I
Yeah.
love like leaving no doubt that
Yep. Same.
it's over.
That's Steve said that a couple weeks ago in class. He was like, you can get in top control and mount him and get his points, but he's like, you know what? I'm not trying to get points here. I'm trying to sub you. So that's what I want here. And I was like, damn, I'm not trying to win on points. Get that out of here.
Absolutely, Steve is one of my good friends. Him and I, we definitely have that same kind of mentality where it's like we're going for subs. We're not trying to win on points. We're not trying to win on advantages. Like I want, and that's what kind of like screwed me on my first time I did IBJJF. I did my first one at purple belt.
You were just doing it, trying to get points.
I know. I was just trying to get subs, and I didn't understand how the points worked. And I got outpointed a lot, and I was just going for. It was a high level. It was a fun match to watch.
Yeah.
But I definitely lost by a lot of points. But I was like, damn, that was fun. Like I was just
Right.
going
You're just
for
trying to tap people, and they're getting position, holding
yeah.
down.
I lost to this guy Benny Rappel. He was coached by Marcelo. He lived in Marcelo's house. Like he was one of their pro heavyweight competitors, and he was a tough dude, man, tough. And from that point on, I was like, I'm going back to the next one. Went to the next one, and we fought each other again, and we fought to a draw. And it was a ref's decision. Ref gave to him, but I definitely disagreed.
I disagreed, but
just saying, I got some. I didn't get some points for some stuff that I definitely should have. I got IBJJF'd, as I say. But
did you supplement your jiu-jitsu when you were getting ready for those tournaments with like a type of cardio or anything?
I did high intensity cardio a lot. But like they say, the best way to get ready for grappling is just grapple as much as you can, self and build position.
It's a different kind of cardio. It's funny. All these different types of workouts are all. You think like if you run a marathon, you think you're in shape to hit pads, but really that's like two separate factors.
Yeah, man, and that's the same kind of thing. Like starting from the feet or starting on your butt. People, when you start on the feet, people gas out so much faster. Obviously, because they don't. And that's
I know that's the worst part about standing up. The worst part about when you start standing is after you get taken down. Say someone subs and then you have to stand up. That's the worst. Restanding up is the worst part because you feel your energy go.
Yep. And I've seen a lot of guys like, it's funny watching that. Cause a lot of my classes I do takedowns too. Like, like we're doing takedowns. I want you guys to understand from the feet so you're used to it. Like we do takedowns so you're used to it. People, like everything, even if. And I always tell everyone, you should always compete. I feel like everyone should at least try competition once. And whether they're doing this for competition-wise, or they're doing it for self-defense, on the street, if someone wants to fight you, they're not going to say, hey, let me sit on my butt. We're going to start from here. Like, everything starts on the feet there, too. So you got to be comfortable in those situations, But
right. I feel like if somebody just came up to me on the street, I think my go-to weapon would just be a leg kick. I would leg kick them so hard or teep them, right? I feel like that's the way to go.
I'd like that. That'd be
at least for
cool.
me, right? Because like if a man your size that approaches me, he's gonna hold me down.
But yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, or you could just back and start choking them. But I just think that everyone should compete, and like I said, whether you want to go compete, and if you're doing this for self-defense, go compete. Because you go to compete against somebody, that's the closest thing you're going to get from fighting someone in real life. Because they don't know you, they want to come after you, they want to beat you with as hard as you want to beat them. So I feel like everyone should compete at least once. Try it.
Yeah, I think it's super beneficial, even just from a mental aspect. Like I had a very new level of respect after I did the jujitsu, the Naga when I was green. I haven't done one since, and I think when I get brown belt is when I'm going to go back to competing again because I have not competed in since I was a white belt. It's been
If you
forever.
do, I'm there. Let's go. I'm doing
Yeah,
it. We'll go with you.
that'd be fun, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in. Count me in. Dead serious. I'll compete with you, bro. I'm in.
Yeah,
Do it.
no, that'd be. It's been a minute, but the level of mental toughness too, especially because I remember being my match was against a guy who was a really good wrestler, and he had such good control of my hips, and I'm like mentally pushing past the point where I was like, oh, I want to give up right now. I can't get out of position. Like having to quiet that voice was so hard for me in that moment
Yeah.
because I really did want to give up. I could not move from this guy.
Yeah. And that's what 99% of the people, when they get in that position, are like, I just don't want to be here anymore. I quit. And then they
All right.
tap, or they're out, or they're just like, they find a way to lose. It's just, and that's what makes you a better jiu-jitsu practitioner, is being able to fight through that mental stuff. Because like they say, jiu-jitsu is just as much mental as it is physical. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had a lot of situations where, like competition wise, where I went, like IBJJF, I went and competed against Vinicius, the guy Trader. He lost to Gordon Ryan in the finals at the last ADCC.
Oh.
So I went to do my first Pan Am's at brown belt, and he was my first match, and he was ranked at like 5th in the world at brown
Jeez.
belt, like in all weight classes. And Marcelo Garcia and all those guys, Mateus, all those, everybody was literally standing there coaching him, and I didn't even have everyone there to take a picture. And I'm like it was just
Oh,
kind of in my head. I'm like, this is gonna suck, man. And he was just
right.
so confident in himself, and I was like, well, stick to the game plan. I had my game plan. Like, it was just my same way that I compete all the time. Went out there. I think I sold them in a couple minutes. It took a couple
Damn.
minutes. And it was just like, nothing is better watching someone where they're cocky and they're like confident, to watching like, oh shit, like I'm in trouble, and you could feel that they're just giving up. And that's when you put that foot on the gas and you finish it.
Right. How do you push through that mental block in your head? Just with practice, you just have been able to get through it?
Yeah,
I literally tell myself in my head, I say, "Stop being a little bitch."
exactly what happened
I
the
tell
first
myself that.
time.
I say, "Stop being a little bitch."
Yeah, that's exactly what happened the first time, and then I've been there so many times since then that it's just like, it's natural already now. Like I push past it right away, because it's like the first thing I thought, first time I was ever there. Do you want to quit? Are you going to be a little bitch, or are you going to actually
When
tough it
it's
out?
mentally and physically exhausting. That's
Mm-hmm.
like Chris and I when we do we used to call we would say in deep waters. We'd call it deep waters, where we'd kick pads for 10 minutes. We do 10-minute round, and by like 4 minutes in, you're like, "What? I have 6 more minutes," and your body starts like quivering. You feel like you can't. You're like suffocating.
You know what they say though, like the body gives up way faster than the mind, or the mind
Yep.
gives up way faster than the body. Like your body can do way more than you think. So it's
Right.
like, you want to give up, but and one of the things, like Chris Roach says a lot, and the first time he said it was like, wow, it's like, you might be tired right now, but if this building caught on fire, you'd be able to get up and run out.
Yep.
So you still got more in the tank. You better keep going. And that's
Exactly.
like that. Chris has got that no bullshit mentality too. Like
I
all
know.
the kind of
Yep.
like, it's
That's. I know.
getting real.
We got a couple of no BS jujitsu guys over there.
And that the best part is the mats tell the truth, no matter what people say, no matter what you think. The mats will always tell the truth. That's Logan says all the time. He's like, the
Dude, I
mats never.
miss Logan. I miss Logan.
Yeah, he's
He's a good
been
dude. He's talk about man crush, dude. That dude is handsome as all hell. And
yeah,
he's talented. He's so
every,
good.
every time he walks in, a bald eagle flies across the sky. Like, he's a guy. He he's one of the best guys I know. He's a good dude, man. Definitely very close. Like Zane calls him, Uncle Logan. So
That's
it's
funny. You did one of the BJJ Fanatic DVDs with him, right?
yeah, he was the Uki for the first one, yeah. And
That's
then
cool.
no, was he two? I think it was the second one too. I don't remember.
Was it two of them?
I've done
You've done
three
3 of them, right?
or four. They want me to come back again. Just
Nice.
my schedule
How
out.
cool is it doing one of those? Yeah, I would What does that look like when you when they invite you over? What kind of setup? What do they hook you up with?
They take care of everything, man. Like they literally pay
Oh,
for
cool.
everything. They give you, you get money every month for the sales and stuff, and they promote your stuff. They cover food, room, hotel, gas,
You were
anything
telling
you
me
want.
too. You got to train at his school too there.
Yeah, yeah. We get to go to Bernardo's and train over there. Bernardo was always someone I looked up to when I was coming up in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Why that was when he was real big and competing and
I
winning.
was gonna say, what was it about it that drew you to him?
Uh, his size and his ability to just keep pushing that pace and keep making that. And he wasn't there by mistake. He was crushing dudes, and he was beating them mentally, physically. Like he was just his style was something that was really fun to watch too. Aggressive.
Yeah, I like that's also one of my downfalls. I don't watch jujitsu as much as I probably should, but I feel like a lot of times that point stuff is kind of boring,
Yeah,
and he is very exciting to watch. He's like one of those guys that I really enjoy watching.
I really did too. Coming up, and I was like, I looked up to him, and then, it came to the
And
point
then for
where
him to invite you over to his space and train,
it
that's so
paid me
wild.
for instructionals. It's like
Yeah,
that's just kind of, I went from looking up to him to him paying me for
yeah.
instruction. Kind of
Him
mind.
texting you on the weekend like, "Hey, what's going on, Ed? How's your weekend?" Oh
Yeah, right.
shit.
I'd be alright with that.
Yeah.
That was just
That's
it
funny.
was
But,
really
when you go there, they even take care of the food and all that too. I mean, that's really impressive. It speaks, volumes on his character, that he just hooks
yeah,
you up. He's not just like, "Hey, here you go. Film this. Alright. Take care of it
right,
yourself.
yeah.
See you later."
No. That they're really good guys. They make sure
Where are they located, do you know?
Boston, Boston. They're
Boston.
based out of Boston. Yeah,
Boston.
their filming is at Bernardo's. Like they have a studio there. Um,
Ooh,
inside
driving through
big.
Boston, though, makes me nervous. If you have to drive through Boston to get there, I probably won't be there for I don't do driving through Boston. I did it once, I'll never do it again.
Well, you know how I drive, so
Yep.
I
You get there, no problem.
absolutely. We're like taking a you know. The guys will tell you when we go to Philly, like when we get there in a 4 hour drives, like two. No,
Jesus, man.
but something, but we get there.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Not two. We get there in a safe
Yeah,
without breaking the law.
exactly. What is there a school you haven't trained at that you really wanted to? Like a school that you other than the
Uh,
Team Balance School in Philly?
I don't know. Craig Jones' school, the B team. I want to try that. I like Craig Jones. I like the way that he turns things into it's an aggressive style, but he's like hilarious. The way that he tries to talk and stuff is just. I want to go there.
Yeah, just because of his style. He's a talk about another exciting person to watch jujitsu.
Oh yeah, for sure. He came out of nowhere too. Like all of a sudden, like he went that and he almost subbed Gordon Ryan with that armbar,
Yep.
and then from then on, it was just like a household name after that.
Yeah, especially in the jiu-jitsu world. He's so freaking talented.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
the when you got to travel to Philly, have you taught any seminars or done any classes for them, or have you just been partaking in the classes?
I've helped out with a couple of classes, like being there. But those guys, man, they're on another level. They all,
Yeah.
I tell you, man. One of the most recent times I've rolled with Phil, he was having like an issue with one of his hands, so he was rolling with one arm. I was rolling as hard as I could. He was coaching the group next to us, and he absolutely like made me feel like I didn't even know jiu-jitsu anymore.
With one
He passed
hand.
my guard. I don't even think I opened my guard. I was just like, I don't know how that happened. I don't know what'd you do. He didn't even try to sub me. He was just me letting him like taking my bag, letting me recover, mounting me, taking side, just toying with. I felt like a little mouse with a cat, just batting me
Yeah.
around.
It
And he went,
reminds you there's some levels of the game, right?
oh man, it just made me fall in love with it all over again. Like wow, there's
Yeah.
just levels to it. It's just that
Yeah.
that
There's levels to this game. That's what I think that's what keeps people sucked in for so long, you know what I mean?
oh yeah. I mean,
Do you
he rolled brick.
prefer I wanted to ask you. I couldn't believe I haven't asked you yet. Do you prefer teaching or competing more?
Uh, I prefer competing. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's hard. Hard to put a choose one or the other. If I had to
Yeah.
choose between me competing or coaching my friends competing, like coaching competing, it's more stressful coaching
Yeah.
the
Your
guys.
friends, right?
Yeah, like coaching it's coaching you guys. It's like I'd rather be out there losing or something
Yeah.
than having to go. It's just so stressful. It's so
Yeah.
stressful because you
To
want
watch
them
your
to be
friends get choked.
successful. You want them to be successful, and you want to help them be successful. But even when they are winning, even then when they are competing at their best, and it's looking awesome, you're not really helping. You're just kind of sitting. It's so stressful watching too. It's just like
Right.
it's hard.
It makes your palms sweat.
Oh my god, dude! I had
That's like
sweat.
what it was like for us. Put it in
Oh
perspective when we had to watch you fight. Like when you
yeah,
you and Crazy Mike would go fight professionally, we were always so nervous because we were like, "Oh my god, anything can happen."
yeah. It was
We don't. Nobody wants to see your friend get hurt.
right. Yeah, I just I don't know. I love coaching. I love it. It's just stressful.
Hard to pick one over the other.
Yeah, I mean, I love teaching and coaching. I love it all. I love every aspect of it.
Where do you see yourself in this sport in the next like 10, 15 years?
uh,
Obviously still training,
oh, absolutely.
right?
I'll train until the day that I die. I don't care. I This is my piece. Training is my piece. You know, some people say, oh, they want to own a school, they want to do all this stuff. Like, I don't ever want to own a school. I like just teaching a couple classes.
Yeah.
That's it.
I
I
feel you.
like teaching. I love training. I love helping. I love hopefully getting some more seminars going. That's about it, man. I'm pretty
Yeah.
happy with how things have been building.
How have you helped with your longevity in the sport? Do you take any supplements or anything?
I take the BCAAs, branched
Yeah.
chain amino acids.
You got me on that stuff. You and Chris Smith, both
Yeah,
you guys
dude,
were talking about how awesome it was.
it feels a night and day difference, and it helps recovery.
I hated pre-workout. And
Mhm.
sometimes when I'm in a pinch and I'm running around doing showings all day, it's really hard to stay hydrated with things other than coffee. So that's like a nice rehydrator.
Yeah, you know, I like that it doesn't have a lot of sugar. It doesn't have any sugar actually. It doesn't have any carbs, and it
Yeah.
counts as water intake for the day, which is something that people got to start taking into consideration. That the amount that you swap when you train, you also got to drink that during the day too, like
I
that.
gotta drink more water, dude. That's my downfall.
That's it. I've been trying to carry it around with me too, like just drinking more water and being used to carrying a jug around with me so I can be, consistent with it.
Do you have like a stretch routine
Nah,
that helps with the longevity or anything? No.
no, I probably should, but
Yeah.
I
Dude, you
do
should.
back rolling.
I'm telling you, it's one of the best things I've done for my ankles. I messed my ankles up playing soccer when I was younger, both of them. I fractured one of them and had like my ankle cracked or something in the other. I don't know. I messed both of them up pretty bad. So my stretch routine, I have a very specific thing I do with my foot so I don't lose my flexibility.
Yeah, I gotta start doing that. I just honestly, I don't know. I don't have it in my head. I back roll because I have I get knots on my shoulder blades. I got I use the J cane or like that back roller with the nubs, but
Oh yeah, dude, you had that cane. That cane you
hmm
could pull and dig into your back.
that's it, dude. That's
Are
where
you
it's
going to
at.
like a chiropractor or anything? You do anything
No,
like that? No.
no, I haven't.
Ed, you gotta take care of your body, dude. Start
No,
stretching, I'm telling you.
no, I do. I mean, I have a hot tub. I sit in a hot tub at night. I
Ooh.
Epsom salt baths too. When I
Yep.
get really, really sore, but my body's used to it now. I've just been training for
Yeah.
so long that and when I don't train, I feel sore. Like I feel stiff. Like I gotta move. I gotta train.
Like your mental state is different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a joy to be around at all when I'm not able to train at all. So it's just been all together. Training is my taking care of my body for me.
Yeah. Mentally and physically, right? Because you had really emphasized how much training helped you through uh, when we couldn't even the gym was closed down. You still were able to at least have a partner and drill a little bit to keep your sanity.
Yeah, I for the first part of COVID when it shut everything down, like I was working 16-hour days. I was just not.
Right. You're running yourself ragged.
Yeah, and then it got to the point where I was like, something got to change, or else.
Dude, it was the same for me. I remember there was one incident where I we were in lockdown and something happened where I forgot what it was exactly, but I remember I snapped at my mentor, the lady I work with at Howard Hanna when she was training me, right? And I snapped at her over something so silly. And I went for a run after because at that point we haven't been training for like months and months and months. It was actually just before we opened up. And I was like, wow, I haven't trained in so long. I'm like grumpy. No one wants to be around. Brittany said like the first few weeks she was like, I cannot wait until Taikai opens so you can get out of here.
Yeah, and
But it's important for people's mental health, like not even just physical, but mental health.
100%, 100%. If I wasn't able to choke my friends, I'd probably be choking people that I don't know, and I would
Yeah.
been in trouble. But
That's so funny. Ed,
it,
dude, this was a lot of fun. Thanks
yeah,
for thanks for doing this, dude.
absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
It's
Glad to-
cool like getting the chance to just like sit and chat with you for an hour. It's instead of always being like, "Hey, what's up, Ed? High five. What's up?
Yeah,
See you later, dude." We get to
yeah,
actually
right.
like decompress a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta
Especially
make
for
it
how
happen.
long we've been training. I mean, we back doing MMA class with Dennis. That was when like I was training like 5 days a week
Yeah,
because I had nothing else going on. I had no girlfriend, no kid.
yeah, you were just training, coming in
Right?
with wearing spats, which you've changed. Thank God.
Spats. That's right, dude.
Huh?
That's right.
Still in the butt.
Representing Savage Spats. That's
There
right,
you go. That's still a
dude.
thing.
That's no, not anymore. I wish it was.
Yeah, why'd you stop that? You should have
He
kept it
just
going.
fell out of love with it. He didn't
See?
want to do it anymore, which is all Gucci. That's all good. It's
Yeah,
kind of weird though, being at Taikai for as long as I have, because a lot of those people have seen me when I was 18 years old. Like you remember me when I was just a kid.
just a little young lad, huh?
Yeah, I know, right? Like it's just it's wild and it's really cool to see. I was talking to Dennis, the cool like connections we have with all these people who have been to Taikai and like have maybe I've like sold a house to or something, or
Mhm.
still keep in touch with them in social media. It's really cool to see such a great network of people that have came through Taikai.
It's I've met the best people in my life going from Thai and it's the same guys that'll at the drop of a hat will be there to get your back. And well, I don't know one person that I'm not friends with there that would take their shirt off their back immediately if you needed it. It's
Yeah, for
just
sure. Yeah,
they're not
it.
friends; they're all family.
Yeah, I know it's really cool to see, especially I think like I've said this before, but back in the day, people would go to like church to get that sense of community, and that sense of community at Taikai is so strong there. It's just I don't know, it's just well put. Everybody there would really kindly do anything for you in a pinch. You know,
Absolutely, yeah,
what a
sure.
what a
I
great place.
can't picture my life without them.
Yeah. Could you ever imagine, Ed, if you had to run Taikai? Could you ever imagine that?
I would not be able to do it. I just don't have that. I just I don't bullshit. I tell people how it is, when it is, what they're doing. I don't think that I would have the ability to
You just after you said you were like, I don't never want to run a school. And what if you got control of Taikai?
Never, absolutely, because I don't feel like there'd be people that would not be coming back. I would feel like there'd be people that, I mean, I bet you there's people there that don't like me, that don't like the way that I talk or call people out. But I just kind of feel like people need to be accountable for things, and they should be held to the same standards as everybody else, which Ken does an awesome job doing that.
Right.
I'm not that kind of guy where I can kind of smile and say, "Hey, yeah, you're doing great." I'm like, no, that's shit. Do it right. But that's why people are in different spots there, and I feel like we got a strong group of guys that run the classes and run the school. Like Ken knows what he's doing. It's been proven. It's work.
And I will say Shark Tank is honestly one of my favorite days of the week. Shark Tank has been one of my favorites.
We got to start building it though too, because how many purple belts are at Taikai that don't?
We got a lot of purple belts. Any of those purple belts listening to this right now, you better show up to Shark Tank Sundays at 10 a.m. I'm sick of being the only purple belt going.
Shark Tank's going to be where we go and find all the purple belts, wherever they are.
Chum in the water.
Yeah, for sure. Grapple them on point, whether they're walking into the Taikai or at home with their family. We'll find them. We'll grapple them. We'll get them. We'll get them going somewhere or the other.
Yeah, well, that'll be good when we got 32 freaking blue belts going through on the next test. So soon enough, the purple belt pool is gonna be massive too. So that Shark Tank will blow up here.
Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, but sometimes
only time will tell. Only time will tell, Edward.
Sometimes it just comes up with more people with more excuses.
That's right, dude. Ed, thanks for doing this, man. I appreciate your time tonight. This was really cool. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, man.